But it feels like, Stephen A., everyone's counting out the defending champs. They are the defending champs. It's only game 3, but this is so uncharacteristic. Do you know where the brooms are in your house? Is it
the brooms. It's in a couple of closets. It's right next to the pantry over there. I got a closet upstairs. It's got a broomstick in there, and both of them are being pulled out. I believe the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to sweep the reigning defending NBA champions. No shade on the Denver Nuggets whatsoever, but you got to score to win basketball games. Last game, game 2, they scored 35 points in the first half. They scored 15 points in the second quarter. They scored 80 points for the game. Do you know that the Denver Nuggets have only failed to score 100 points in a game 10 times this season? In those games, they've never won. Their record is 0-10 when you score less than 100 points. If there's a defense that has proven to us they can shut you down, it is the Minnesota Timberwolves. We can rave about Anthony Edwards, and we should. We can rave about Karl Anthony Towns and the way he's played this series. We can point out Jokic shooting 42% from the field, which is very uncharacteristic for him because he's a better than 53, 54% shooter. We know what he brings to the table. He hasn't looked like a league MVP, not in these first 2 games. The reigning 3-time league MVP is not even the best player in this series. This is what we're talking about here. And I believe what I've seen from Minnesota defensively is too much for this team without Jeff Brown from last year, without Bruce Brown from last year to overcome. They don't have the depth. I don't believe they're going to beat Minnesota.
Game 2 stands out to me. I've been covering the NBA playoffs for a lot of years. And there's not too many times that I can remember seeing a champion whole just sort of swallowed like Minnesota did Denver. It was ruthless.
Yes.
I mean, they beat them in a way that when they got a quarter into it, you could see they wanted to embarrass them. They wanted to just take their heart. And come on, Denver earned everything, all the praise, all the hardware. They earned all that last year. And it seems like not really possible, like it's an illusion, that a team could come in, a team with no pedigree. Minnesota has no pedigree, they haven't won anything. They haven't been in a playoff position. It's enviable in 20 years since Kevin Garnett.
Right.
And to come in and do what they did in game 2, where they just, they annihilated a champion. You don't see that often. So now I'm sitting here, Bob, and I'm wondering, okay, Stephen A., my feeling is sort of like yours, overwhelmingly, which is, oh my God, they can't even get away from them.
Yeah.
They can't figure out how to find an open shot, much less win a game. But then it's like, wait a minute, sports is not that easy, right? I mean, you become a champion, you've gone through some stuff, so let me just hold off. Let me at least see half of game 3, because what they did was so ruthless in game 2.
You talk about defending a championship and how it's difficult to repeat as a champion. You go from the hunter to the hunted. We're seeing that in this series. You're seeing the Minnesota Timberwolves as the hunters. You know, they're going after these guys. And they're coming. They are not fearful. To win 2 games in Denver, did anybody predict that? Because I didn't see it. No. If somebody did, I didn't see it. And if they had predicted it, I would have said that person doesn't know what they're talking about. But to win a championship takes a special team. Denver did that. So I just don't see Denver loses this game. If Denver loses this game, we are seeing a shift. They're not the best team in the West anymore. Because you lose this game, you're probably not winning the series. Okay, so what would happen is not only Minnesota probably advancing if they win this, I think they become the favorite in the next series against whoever they play.
Right.
And then you even go into next season and you go, Minnesota.
Yes.
Minnesota.
What don't they have?
And I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, we didn't see it coming, but damn it, it's here.
It's here. Right, it's here.
And this is what we have to pay attention to, right? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but I'm not ready to make that statement. I know you're Brooms, and I don't know where you were. I think Denver's going to win this game. I'm just going to say
I'm
asking you.
You've been terrible with predictions.
I'm asking you have been terrible with your
predictions. I know, but okay.
He got Dallas right last night.
That's a different
It happens. What I'm asking you to appreciate, Bob, is my contention about the defense. Now, if it was because Anthony Edwards looks unstoppable, okay, then you can look normal. If it's because Karl Anthony Towns didn't miss a 3 or whatever, okay, that's fine. Or according to Jaden McDaniels, all of a sudden he's hitting them. Nas Reed ain't missing the reigning 6 man of the year. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about athleticism, size, and you're talking about quick of foot, keeping their bodies in front. The Denver Nuggets cannot get away from them.
And the demeanor,
that's what we're talking about.
The demeanor, the spirit of that Minnesota defense.
There's a reason why people say defense travels. They took their defense to Denver. That defense travels.
Well, you know what else they say? They say defense wins championships.
Yeah.
Can I give you one piece of trivia before we head to break here? When Jokic won MVP in 2021, they ended up trailing 0-3 to the Phoenix Suns, lost that series. Won it in 2022 against the Golden State Warriors. They were trailing 0-3. He has now won the MVP this year. We'll see if that pattern continues.